When you first install a Drupal, everything that you get right out of the installation is called as the Drupal core. In our course so far, everything that you have been seeing so far has come right out the core. You now have first-hand knowledge that Drupal core is very powerful and extensible. But the Drupal core is highly curated. It is kept lightweight. The philosophy is to keep the Drupal core as generic and scalable as possible. Drupal.org's foundational team makes the decision on what is included in the core and what is not. It will not be a trivial decision to include some functionality in the Drupal core, as it will literally impact millions of users and websites around the world. Drupal core will come with certain high standards of security assurance, maintainability, future proofing, and quality assurance, and other non-functional parameters. This is also a key reason why Drupal core is kept as lightweight as possible. However, the true power of Drupal is in its extensibility. There is a huge community of developers and designers who contribute to source code, design themes, create documentation, who manage software engineering, who help resolve issues, and who manage forums, and so on. Features which come from these channels are called as contributed modules. Drupal.org has a full section for this. The point you have to note is there is an ocean of features and you will be sure to find something that matches your most common requirements. These modules are not maintained officially by Drupal. When you add new modules, they will first start on this extend page. Both core and contributed modules will start here. Discovering and installing modules is covered in the next lessons, but for now let's just have a quick look at modules which are already installed. Observe this page for a moment. It is actually a long listing of modules which are immediately available to you because they are installed. They are classified under sections, and the first section is the core section. If a module is checked like this, it means that the module is already installed and enabled. If a module is unchecked, then it means that the module is already installed but not yet enabled. You will also see some short information, including the version number and sometimes some help text, and some configuration also will be available. A very important concept to understand now is the interdependence of modules. Modules often need other modules to function, and sometimes they themselves will be required by other modules. You can see here on the screen, the requires a list is a bunch of modules required for this particular module to even function. Naturally, as you can expect, the core modules will be used by a lot of contributed modules to build upon. When you are installing a new module, you are allowed to do so only when all the required modules are already installed. And on the other side, you are allowed to uninstall a module only when it is no longer required by other modules. Just remember this, and you will understand this better when we are installing modules in a later lesson. In this course earlier, I have installed a module and instantly gotten a complete new powerful feature in my project. Remember themes, discussion forums, and polls. I come from a software tech background and I appreciate the incredible power in this architecture. However, there are some pitfalls and some extra diligence required of you that I will mention now. Point number one, first and foremost, is that you are likely to meet bad code in contributed modules that can potentially break your application. Similarly, there are great well-written modules also, and I will show you in the next lesson how to do some due diligence while selecting modules. Point number two, you might find conflicting modules, that is, modules that do not play well with other modules which you have installed. There may be code conflicts, resource conflicts, and feature conflicts. There will be situations when a contributed module works perfectly on one side but not on another side. This is very likely to be because of interdependence issues that I just mentioned. Point number 3 is not a pitfall but something you should be fully aware of. Every module or theme that you add will increase the maintenance efforts of your website in terms of a version upgrade, security upgrade, release management overheads, and so on. These points will be obvious to seasoned professionals but might not be accounted for by newcomers and can cause heartburn later. Keep all this in mind whenever you are exploring modules. Obviously, all of these are engineering challenges even if you build the code yourself and not just unique to contributed modules. And so with that introduction to the power and pitfalls of contributed modules, we will go deeper in the next lesson. See you there.